Thanks for joining us and welcome to PO Sports Talk. I'm Ed Cotwall along with co-host Joel Rainier. We had to take a little mid-season break with some staffing issues, and I think Joel got a little camera shy too. But we're back here in time for the last part of the regular season and the playoffs. Give you some information on some big games coming up. Our game of the week this week is kind of an intriguing matchup Wednesday night at 7:30 at Greencastle. They're going to play Southern Fulton. And I don't remember very often where any of the Starting Hill League teams have played any of the Mid-Penn teams other than Phantom Metal JB for a good many years. So, and with Southern Fulton having a real good season and Greencastle having success, I'm kind of looking forward to see how this game turns out.
Yeah, it's David versus Goliath type. You know, Southern Fulton's a small single-A school, good program run by Ken Hendershot. They're always well disciplined and play well. And it's one of those Hoosier type scenes where you got the small school going up against the bigger school, and you just want to see how it works out. You know, you take the results all year and you try and compare the kids the best you can for all-star type situations. But now you'll get to see a kid like Ryan Harper, who's scored in double figures every game this year, go up against a Mid-Penn school, which you always wonder, you know, how does it translate?
Yeah, I think Southern Fulton's coming in a little bit under strength. But Greencastle, if they beat Waynesboro tonight, we're taking this Tuesday. If they beat Waynesboro tonight, they'll win the Mid-Penn Colonial Championship. So you're thinking they might have a little bit of a possibility of a letdown that night. So there's some interesting mind games going on there too.
I'm sure Southern Fulton will get their attention. They're certainly not going to be afraid. Whether they win is another question.
Yeah. Also want to make note of since Chambersburg beat CD East last night, they're on an 8-game win streak, and they certainly are heavily favored tonight against Steel High, which means they'll should be going to the districts on a nice run.
John Burgoon predicted this. He told me a couple weeks ago he thought they could run the slate here if they played well. And it's kind of different for Chambersburg. Normally they start hot and have struggled down the stretch in recent years. Now they're kind of off and on at the beginning of the year, but they've really grown down the stretch here. It's not always pretty, but they've gotten the job done, especially foul shooting here of late.
Yeah, I think they stand a pretty good chance of being in the top 10, you think, in the power rankings?
Yeah.
Which would mean I'm trying to think. I guess they probably wouldn't get a play-in game, then, right?
No, only 13 to 20 get a play-in, and right now they're looking at a 6-11, 5-12 type matchup. Which, if they can win that first one, then they'll be a good matchup. So you got to pull that upset in the first round, and then from there you never know.
Yeah. Anyway, they're in much better shape than they have been the last few years. That's for sure.
Yeah, Quad A stacked this year with they're in a tie with like 5 teams at 15-5, and they're down in the teen area, so that shows you the strength this year.
But there's a lot of teams in there that are probably beatable too.
Yeah, they're the same. All be the same. There's no one dominant except maybe York High this year.
Yeah. Speaking of playoffs, we're going to be a little light on District 3 playoff teams this year. I think it looks like Chambersburg and Greencastle are definitely in. James Buchanan, I guess.
They were 20th last time I looked, which is the last spot.
And the top 20 get in, so they may be able to sneak in there. Girls, I think Shippensburg girls are probably the only team that's going to get in, at least in District 3. So it's going to be kind of slim there this year for us. I also want to mention, again, we're talking Tuesday night. Wednesday night is the makeup date for the Chambersburg-Waynesboro wrestling match, which is always a big rivalry. Chambersburg, I'm sure, is favored this year, but Waynesboro always seems to do their best against them. I just don't know how to call this one. I think Chambersburg's got a little more star power, but it's probably going to be close.
Yeah, I would say for the first time in a while, Chambersburg has some kids that you can project down into districts and states and kind of think, I wonder how they're going to do this year. I know you always enjoy going up to Hershey, and now you might have a little more meaning behind it this year than maybe in the past couple of years.
I'd say this area's probably got as many as maybe 7 or 8 guys that have a realistic chance to get into states, which is unusual.
No small feat in District 3, that's for sure.
You're right about that. Okay, thanks again for joining us for PO Sports Talk. Have a good week and enjoy the games.